Hi guys. Hi guys. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. Life is amazing. Life is great. I love being back here. I took a day off yesterday from posting on YouTube, and so many messages were coming in, so many downloads were coming in. But you know what? I very much felt that it was a day for me to recoup, recover, ground myself, spend time with my daughter, take time working on my other business, you know, but I'm back. And you guys, oh my gosh, I forgot to share with you. Okay, so I don't have to worry about my phone falling down because I got one of the little phone holder thingies. So it's here, yay, and it's sturdy and it's not gonna fall down. I love it. And like the angle is so much better. I mean, you guys might miss my steering wheel just a little bit, but it's right here, I promise. It's just right here. Yeah. All right, earbud. All right. We're gonna see if I'm gonna do this with my earbuds today. I might just take them out because this left one has been finicky. And you guys know the song that it wasn't coming through the channel. I actually wrote notes for this channel message, and then I got in the car and the song that just came in, and I think I was thinking a little bit too much into the lyrics because the lyrics aren't quite, they're not literally matching what this channeled message is. But I mean, as spirit does, we find out how it works, right? So I'm feeling like this song that was coming in, you guys know Shabuzi. I love that name too, Shabuzi. The new song he has, the song that's like, I need some good news, sitting here sipping on cold truth. Nobody knows what I'm going through, but the devil wouldn't walk in my shoes. Where someone told me living this life would be lonely, trying to get away from the old me, still stuck singing these blues. All I really need is a little good news. You guys know that song? So fun. It's just, it just makes you want to just dance and bounce. And yeah, it's great. Anywho, that song was coming in at the end as I sat down here. And I'm just like, yeah, we're going to figure out what it means. I definitely like the lyrics part that's like trying to get away from the old me. And I feel like, yeah, earbud confirmation right off the bat. I'm already feeling like this collective, and we've already been knowing, this collective is very much in a transformative state constantly, like a death and rebirth constantly. And so, yeah, it's like you're not necessarily trying to turn a blind eye and avoid the old you. You're just trying to grow from it. You're trying to learn from your mistakes and learn the lessons and grow from it. And that's what's so beautiful. So maybe that's literally it, but I don't know. I just feel like maybe just the vibe, just the music, just the dancing, just the moving your body is like part of the message. So let's go into it. Also, you guys, something so special about this message today. I really want to get started, but then everything keeps popping in. So I'm just going to let it pop in as it needs to. I have never brought physical like gems, crystals, stones to channeled message before. I've maybe talked about them a couple times, I think once or twice, but I actually felt like I should bring them today. And I was feeling so called and just very much like, before I even wrote down the channeled message, before I even was like starting to write down my notes, these came through strongly. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. Until last year, I'd never seen of it or heard of it. Mukite. Mukite. Isn't it cool? And it's a fun name too. Mukite, just like Shabuzi. It's lots of different names. It sounds like we're making up new languages here, but it's not. Shabuzi, Mukite. And then right here, I thought at first this was emerald, but then I was like looking a little closer with the black and white striations in it. And I'm like, that's not quite emerald, I don't believe. I think this is malachite. Pretty positive. So if you guys know, let me show you guys closely. Will it focus? I don't know. All the people with the makeup stuff, they do this and it's like, does that actually work? I don't know. Maybe with a camera, with like an actual camera and not my phone. But yeah, and it's just like a little palm stone, you know, so it's really cool. Anyways, these came through heavily, and I also realized like green, I've just been channeling green. Green nails, I got a green shirt, we got green malachite. I think I have green in my earrings somewhere in here. Yeah, green, just feeling green. Fancy today. Lots of green. So maybe green means something to you. Maybe green's your favorite color. Oh yeah, I also have a green bracelet. You guys, today was just everything. The song coming in, the crystals coming in, the channel message coming in, lots of things coming in, and we're going to see how it all plays together. And if it's all over the place, then it's all over the place, because sometimes life is all over the place. Sometimes we are all over the place. And it's already feeling hot, so I'm going to roll down the windows because Lord help me if I start sweating. I know. We're gonna stop it right there. Okay. Yeah. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. All right. Yeah, maybe you guys feel also I need to chill. Eleanor, I need to chill. Okay. But with the whole like living this life might be lonely, like maybe you don't actually feel lonely. Like I'm feeling like you guys are feeling maybe you're feeling a little lonely. But it happens at times. We all feel lonely at times. But I'm really feeling like this collective is diving into loving this loneliness, like this isolation period, this hermit period, if you will, this time of self-reflection and, you know, cutting off things that no longer serve you or no longer resonate with you or no longer align with you. And you're really starting to be like, this is a great place to be in. And maybe you were feeling like overwhelmed with all the other people, all the other things you were doing. And now you're starting to kind of pull away and retract from those things and start to look into self and look into the things that deeply matter to you. And so, yeah, it might feel lonely. And maybe you're like, I wish somebody would have told me that this was going to be lonely on this upheaval of growth and spiritual awakening and learning and diving into self and inner shadow work and all the things, because it can be lonely. It can be. There's not a lot of people that do this. So you guys are a rare bunch. And yeah, sometimes it is lonely. And maybe you wish somebody told you, but I'm here to tell you. It's a little lonely, but it's okay because it's fun too. It's so much fun to like really get to dive into yourself and understand how you work, like your inner cogs, your inner workings, your inner things, the weirdness of you. Isn't it fun? It's so fun. So fun. Earbud confirmation. It's really fun. And you're weird. Just a little bit. It's okay, but being weird's awesome. All right, let's get into the notes. Let's get into the notes. All right. How do I start this? Spirit, help me. Oh, okay. Well, already right off the bat. So I like was writing this channel message. I usually write them in a different journal, but I used every single page front and back of my other journal, and I haven't gone out to get a new journal. So I'm using my actual diary, like my own diary here, guys, which isn't it so cool, by the way? Focus, Eleanor, focus. But I used that because I was like, I need to write something down, and this is all I have right now. So I'm using my diary. But I wrote the date on it today, but I didn't really write the date. I actually wrote a year in advance, so 6/26/26. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, even though it's like 2025, not 2026. But I mean, hey, whenever you're watching this, maybe you're watching this on 6/26/26, and how freaking cool is that? This is a timeless message, so whenever you're finding this, you know, it's for you. But at the same time, it's very odd that I wrote that, because in the rest of my notes, and there's a lot of notes in this one, I think I have 1, 2, 3, don't tell me there's 6 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 pages. So something to do with 6, guys. A lot of 6s. Okay. And don't be scared. So many people are like, oh, 666. It's like, that's the sign of the devil. No, it fucking isn't, you guys. Okay. No, 6 does, I mean, if you put the energy towards that, because our energy, our thoughts are powerful. So if you think that's what it is and you make that happen for you, then sure, that's what it can be. But I really don't resonate with thinking that numbers, or that, you know, 3 collective numbers together means something evil and dark and looming. It could resemble 666 if you want to keep it in that same type of like devil thing, like the card, the tarot. I actually brought my tarots too, because I didn't know. Maybe I needed to also use tarot. There's so much coming in. I was like, I don't know how to say this, and I still haven't even shared it with you completely. Anyways, we're at 8 minutes. What does my timer say right here? We got 3 minutes 44. Maybe those numbers mean something to you. 3, 44, 8. Now it's 9 minutes. I don't know. There's numbers everywhere, guys. Take it as you do. Leave what does not belong to you or what does not resonate with you, because maybe not all of this will. All right? Yeah, I'm not even sure exactly where I'm going with this one. Earbud confirmation. Spirit's like, just trust the flow. I don't have to know. Anyways, going with the whole thing, like, if you feel like 666 is some sort of evil, bad, looming number, or mean something for you, it could also just mean like the card, the devil, which very much is about ego, or about like, yeah, like it, yeah, ego. Let me just pull it up. Let me just pull it up right here. Okay. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. Devil, number 15. 5 + 1 is 6. You guys. Crazy, right? Not crazy, but crazy. The devil reaches out his hand, granting a release from the mundane with promises of earthly and material pleasures. So yeah, like desires of wanting things outside of yourself to help give you that happiness, to help give you that joy, that pleasure, instead of looking within self to create that for yourself. The devil is very much your ego, what you think you need for yourself, what you think you need to look like, or how you have to behave in order to be happy, to be successful. And those things actually aren't real. They're very much like instant gratification type things. So that's what the devil stands for. The words here being used, it's like vices, grip of addiction, need for liberation, healthy versus unhealthy sexuality, materialism, the healing found in darkness, delving into your shadow self, like I was talking about earlier, being trapped in your own stories or your own ideas of what you feel like you need to be or behave, manipulation, lying to yourself, temptation. Those are the words, okay? So that's what I'm feeling. Like maybe we're going a little bit into that. We'll see how it flows. We'll see. Thanks for following with me, guys, because I have no idea what this energy is. I'm just going to literally read my notes because I am struggling to kind of create this whole picture for it. And as I talk, as most of my videos do, I feel like they're kind of like all over the place. And then at the end, they end up being like more cohesive and everything comes together. So we'll see how that works out. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But that's okay. Like I said, life can sometimes be a chaotic mess. And this might just be channeling that chaotic mess that you might feel like you're in right now. Or that you just left. Yeah. All right. Let's get started. My very first note here. Your perspectives trigger people. Your perspectives, how you see things, the lens you view life in, the loudness that you create with your thoughts, with your truth, triggers people. And I smile because you're probably smiling. And if you're not smiling, then you're going to be smiling because it feels so good to be sitting in your truth and to be able to speak the thoughts, the opinions, the perspectives that you have, and to know that you're standing in your own truth, your own authenticity. And you're no longer needing the validation from others or the approval or the acceptance from others when you share your truth, when you speak your words, to feel happy and to feel authentically yourself and to feel aligned with the things you feel aligned with. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. So you might have had some past people who like resembled narcissist. I know that word can be very triggering for people, whether it's the actual narcissist themselves or just the word, because it does get thrown around a lot and everyone likes to say you're a narcissist. Even the narcissists like to say you're a narcissist. That's just how it is, right? It's what it is. So you might have had past people in your life who have resembled narcissist or had those behaviors that would like scold you. They'd flip out on you, punish you, or even like, yeah, even punish you for speaking the truth, for speaking the things that you felt called to speak. And the reason why these people were triggered was because it caused them to self-reflect and see something in themselves that they didn't like. And you were projecting that, like not projecting your thoughts onto them, but like you were like projecting out, like you were like sharing it. You weren't keeping it to yourself and staying quiet like those people, the narcissist or the people that were like narcissist. They didn't like that. They didn't like that you were so willing to call them out or to speak your truth or your understanding about that. Yeah. And they wanted to keep living in this facade, this like egoic mind that they've created for themselves, this like ideal image that they think that they had to be in, and you would like pop their bubble. And you didn't do it to hurt them. You didn't do it to harm them. You weren't doing it to be mean. You were doing it because something didn't seem right, or you were tired of the manipulation, the lying, the scheming, the devil card in a sense. You were tired of seeing and feeling that, and you were like, you know what happens if I actually say something? What happens if I actually call them out or offer another perspective or offer another insight? Maybe they're telling you that like you have to behave this way, and instead of you being like, no, you're wrong, you were like, well, what if I do these things that you're telling me I shouldn't do? What if I do these things and it actually works out? What if? What if? And they're like, no, how dare you? No, kind of thing. Anyways. But yeah, like I said here, and like I have on my notes, you didn't do it to hurt them. It's actually one of your gifts, the ability to see things differently in a new lens that no one else has considered or has been able to do, that they never fathomed could ever possibly be a possibility. As I said in one of my other videos, a potentiality. I really have to look up if that's a word. Potentiality. I feel like it is a word. I just don't use it that often, but that kept popping in. It just sounds fun. Like shabuzi. It sounds fun. Like mukite. Potentiality. We're going to be using some fun words today, guys. So I feel like this message, although it be crazy and it's wild and all over the place, and maybe some of these things resonate with some of you guys. Maybe you like mukite, maybe you like malachite. Ooh, I learned that they're both some, wow, mukite, malachite. Why did that just click with me? Like kite. That's so cool. Anyways, you like flying kites? No, bring it back in. I like flying kites, but I need to chill. I need to chill. This is too much, Eleanor. No, you're never too much. You're never too much. Somebody needs to hear this. Somebody needed to have that sign. I bet somebody here in this video was like, Spirit, God, Source, send me a sign, and it's like so specific, and they're like, I need the next video I watch or something today needs to say the word kite. And I said it, and maybe that like means something for them, you know? So everything I say, even if it doesn't resonate with you, might resonate with somebody else and was meant to be said. So I'm just gonna stop judging myself and sitting here saying I need to chill. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that confirmation, Spirit. And I need to stop sitting here saying I need to behave and act this way, exactly like this message, and just let it flow as it flows. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. That's okay. That's the beauty of being a human. That's the beauty of having our own personalities and lenses and perspectives. And you can choose to not like it, or it maybe doesn't resonate with you, but it might for somebody else. So I'm still gonna do it and say it and be it. Yeah. Anyways, as I said that, 11:20 on my timer clock over here. Something's coming big for you. Something's coming in big for you. Something big is coming in for you. There we go. Exciting big things are coming in for you. Okay, a big FedEx truck just went by, and like something's coming in being delivered to you. Something's coming in that somebody is sending to you, and it's not negative, it's positive. But we're gonna go back into this. That's all I'm gonna say. So your perspective, your way of seeing things pierces people's illusions. A lot of people like to live in illusion land. And other people think that their illusions are actually reality, and that you collective, you beautiful people, are living an illusion. Isn't that weird how it's like this weird dichotomy, and how they like switch it, and it's like almost this upwards, backwards mirror reflection. It's like they're actually living in their own illusion, but yet they are the ones thinking that you are crazy and living in an illusion. Either way, your truth, your honesty, your words pierce their illusion. It pierces the idea of what they think they are, or what life needs to be, or how they need to behave, or what they think you need. And you just pierce straight through that, and you like pop their little bubble with love, of course, because all you're doing is standing in your truth. Verb confirmation. You're just releasing out what needs to be released out, what needs to be said. That's it. You're not doing it to hurt people. Although you're aware that your words might trigger people, you're not doing it to hurt them. You're doing it to speak your truth, to stand in authenticity, to stand in your truth. Yeah. You're just not living in falsehood anymore. You're like, I'm done with this. I'm done doing that. Maybe you did. Maybe you used to be somebody who would live in other people's illusions because you maybe had people pleaser vibes, or maybe you were very much like, yeah, you felt like you needed to act a certain way to be perceived the way you wanted to be perceived. The way you've always felt like you were going to be a healer, a light, a teacher, a guide of some sort. And you thought that in order to do that, you had to behave the way that these other people told you to. So you lived in that illusion, truly, genuinely believing that that was the way to become this like calling, this place you've always felt called to, even as a kid, what I'm hearing. Like even for a long time, maybe you didn't consciously put all the pieces together and understand where you were going to be, because none of us do, right? None of us really do. We just kind of have this feeling, this pull towards a direction, and you kept following it. You kept following it from childhood into adolescence into adulthood. You kept following this pull. And you kept standing more and more and more in your light, more and more and more in your authenticity, in your truth. And it really triggered people. It really bothered them. And a lot of people who were ready for this, like awakening in a sense, spiritual or physical, mental, emotional, it doesn't matter. They were ready for it. It actually was like this big magic moment for them. Like it was, what am I hearing? I keep wanting to hear the M word. Magic, manifest, not quite. It was a miracle. It was like a miracle. Like your words to some people definitely triggered them, and they thought you were like weaponizing it against them, like you were trying to hurt them or tear them down or make them look bad or make yourself look better, or whatever their thoughts were, their projections of what they think other people think of them. They were putting that on you. But the people that are ready to hear this, the people that are willing to learn and that are like ready for this deep awakening within self, within life, within spirituality, like saw your words, your truth, your light as a miracle. As a miracle. Yeah, it's crazy, you guys. Earbud confirmation. I also need some coffee right now, so pause. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. Why is that? The lyrics keep cycling through. There's more lyrics, Eleanor, but those are the lyrics that keep coming through. So it's funny that I said in this life and likely in other lives. So I don't know if you guys associate or believe in past lives or whatever, but I mean, I'm just going to tell you they're a thing. They are. To whatever experience you feel like you had them, or whether you remember them or not, or whether you've ever heard of it before, or you think it's a little woo-woo, that's okay, because my authentic truth and what I'm about to say might trigger you, as this message might do. It might trigger you, but that's okay, because sometimes being triggered will send off the people that are no longer aligned with you or that do not belong around you in this circle, in this place that you're in, because you are divinely protected. So by you speaking your truth and how it triggers other people will push those people into a different space, like whatever space they need to be in, but away from you. You know, you're being protected right now. So sometimes triggering will help protect you. Triggering other people with your authentic words, with your authenticity is good. But sometimes triggering can also be good for the other person as well, because it plants a seed and it helps things start to percolate. And it might take a little bit of time. It might take a couple weeks, a couple months, sometimes a couple years, where that person is still hearing the resounding words that you've said, your truth that you spoke, and somehow it sits with them, and then they're like, and it starts to come together for them, and then then they have this growth, they have this aha epiphany moment. So triggering people isn't just bad. You're not triggering people to just trigger people, just be like, I don't like you, I'm gonna say this. That's not how you guys are. You're saying things because you feel called to say something, you feel like it's important to say it, and that something doesn't seem right or something seems off, so you feel called to share your perspective, your lens on that idea, to share maybe a different idea that other person may not have considered. That's all that is, really, truly. So in this life, and likely in others, in other lives that you've had, you have encountered narcissistic individuals or people who had narcissistic tendencies that demanded control over their environment, over their image, and how you were allowed to see them. Like they didn't want you to peel back the layers of them, or to, take off the covering that they had, that they were showing the world. They were showing up as like this, they had this like veil over them, that they weren't showing their true authentic nature, and you did see them. And the way that you were able to see them, I'm hearing two things. One, you're very intuitive and you can sense those energies and feel things. So even if it's somebody you don't know deeply, or even just a stranger, like you might resonate with this right now, where you just walk into a store, or you just walk somewhere, or you go somewhere, and you just feel like what the person is saying is not true, or that they have not the best intentions, or just something icky about that person. Not that they are a bad person, not that they are an icky person, but the energy or the things that they're outputting, the things they're saying, something does not seem right, does not seem truthful, does not seem honest, seems very deceitful, like illusionary. Yeah. But the other thing I'm hearing that you might know this is that you really did deeply know this person. So this could have been like a family member you lived with. This could have been a friend you had for a lot of years. Somebody that you really got to know the inner workings of them, and you got to see the few moments that they weren't veiling in that sense. And I'm not talking about veiling like in sometimes in the spiritual community or in other different religions and practices where they will wear head veilings and doing that for their own reasons, and I'm talking about like they veiled who they were to the world, and there were a few times that either they forgot to veil, or they just, it showed like their authentic nature shone through. showed through, either way. And you saw those things, and over time you started to piece it all together and really see who this person was, this individual was, what kind of light they were living in, what kind of vibrational energy that they were in. So you saw it. So then when they would remask or reveil and you'd go out into the world outside of private household or private areas that you hung out with them, and you would see the lies that they spread out, or you know, just the not truthful nature that they shared with people, and you were like, what? Hang on, that's not what happened. That's not who you, what? And you were just like so confused. And so you were able to see through those things. Your word confirmation. So you have like this really strong, powerful gift, and you have many gifts. We all have many gifts. We are not just like one superpower. We all have gifts. It's like, are you aware of them? Do you tap into them? And also, do you see them as gifts? Because some people don't see them as gifts. Some people see them as burdens or weapons. Like they might feel like they're not a gift. But I feel like one of your guys' gifts, well, both of them as I spoke here, but one of your guys' gifts for sure is to see through illusion, to see through deceit, to see through something that doesn't seem truthful and of light, of positivity, of higher vibration. You're able to see through that. But one of your other gifts is also a different lens, a different perspective on things. So the beautiful thing about you is that even when you would see through these lies, this manipulation, these things, these narcissistic people, or the devil, if you will, you'd see through these things, these characteristics that the people had. But because you also had this gift of having a different perspective, having a different lens on life, you would also try to take a more empathetic approach and try to look at them through being devil's advocate. That's funny that I say that, because devils, yeah. Like you tried to be devil's advocate, and you're like, well, maybe they did this because they were hurt, or maybe they did this because they were embarrassed because this person has hurt them, or maybe they, like, you tried to keep looking at their perspective, or what their perspective or reasoning behind something could have been, and you looked at it in many different ways too. And that's what's so beautiful and strong about you guys, because you don't just look at somebody and say, yuck, you're lying. I mean, you might be in the place now because you created boundaries, and you're in a place where you're like, you can just kind of see through it, and you see those, not just red flags, but like you see it, and you no longer entangle yourself with those things. But as you were growing into this, so stepping back a little bit from where you might feel like you are presently, you got a little entangled with those people, those energies, those things, because you're very empathetic, because you're very kind, you're very loving, you're very intuitive and understanding, and you also like to take perspective of things other than just your own perspective. You step out of even your own ego, your own, what you think it is. Oh, this person's just a really bad person. That's your ego speaking and your projection speaking. But then you would learn to step out of that and say, well, why would they be acting this way? Why might they be lying? Why might they be behaving this way? And you approached it with love and trying to understand these other people from such a beautiful space. But as you did that, you would still pull up their triggers. So maybe these people were behaving these narcissistic tendencies and patterns because they were hurt from their childhood or their past. And so you would bring it up in this perspective of, well, maybe you're hurt because of these childhood things, but they weren't ready to face that, or they weren't ready to admit that they were hurting from these past things, and they weren't willing to take accountability for the stuff that they could change and do. So by you even taking this different perspective and lens, by you looking at it in a different way, trying to be empathetic and loving towards these people, you still ended up triggering them, because you're like, I'm just trying to understand them. I'm just trying to be loving. I'm trying to, I don't want to lose this person. Maybe there was an attachment thing too that you guys were having to work through. But it's definitely feeling like the way you try to look at so many different things in people's situations, events, not just in your own life, but in others, you genuinely try to get a well-rounded perspective. And I'm also hearing, like, outside of 3D too, like what's it called? Tetra something? I don't know. What's that shape, that like geometric shape that's like tetrahedral? I don't know. Is that right? I don't know. You guys tell me, let me know if you know what I'm talking about. Like the shape that's not 3D, it's like 4 or 5D. I don't know, guys, but that's what I'm like hearing and seeing this image, and I've seen it before on like videos before, where it's like you are able to see not just the 3D, not just like, I'm not talking about the 3D like the world here, I'm talking about like the 3D images, you know, you looked past that and saw even more dimensions and perspectives that nobody else thought was real or existed or that you could tap into, and you did that. And as you did that and got better with it and got more in tuned with it and were more, you just tapped into more of those gifts, those natural gifts and abilities that you have, you triggered people more. And you were like, what is wrong with me? Why am I constantly hurting people? But you're not. Other earbud, thank you. You're not trying to hurt people. And just because you trigger people and just because it happened more seemingly, I laugh and I smile because like I highly resonate with this one, but also it's just so sweet. It's just like confirmation of who you guys are, that even though you were triggering other people, and even though you were trying to do it in a place of genuineness and authenticity, you were still coming back to yourself being like, well, but am I the problem? Am I being too much? Am I not doing this right? Am I looking at it strange? Am I the weird one? Am I the odd one out? And the answer is no, you weren't being the problem. You were actually ahead of everything. Like you were able to see things further in advance that other people haven't tapped into yet. But then also, yes, you're weird. I love you. You're very weird. In such a beautiful, positive, strong, powerful way. You're weird. It's okay. We're all a little bit weird, but like you extra weird. You're like a spicy weird. Yeah. Why am I getting mustard in my head? Like spicy mustard. You're a spicy mustard. Maybe you guys like mustard. I like mustard. I don't eat mustard very often, but I do like it. Yeah, comment below. Why do I feel called to say that? Comment below what your favorite mustard is. Dijon mustard, honey mustard, some sort of spicy mustard. I don't know, like a fire pickle mustard. What's your favorite mustard? I'd love to know. All right, back to this. So when your truth challenged these people's egos or their story that they were trying to live in, they may have punished you emotionally, mentally, or even energetically. And that may have lingered through with you. Like that might be why, even if you did end up setting boundaries with those people or even cutting some of them off as far as like going no contact and stuff. Yeah, maybe some of you guys went no contact. But that energetic punishment, if you will, that they were sending towards you, that they didn't like about your authenticity, your truth, you speaking your truth, lingered with you a little bit into other relationships, friendships, life endeavors where you were like, okay, but am I too weird? Am I the problem? And look, and that's also such a beautiful thing too, is because it's so good to self-reflect and look at yourself and say, well, okay, what can I learn from this? What am I doing? What can, you know, but you may have done it. What I'm hearing is that you may have done it to almost to a fault, to your own detriment. People wanted you to do it that way. So they thought, yeah, you should be self-reflecting. You should be looking at yourself like that because you are crazy and you've ruined our lives and you've hurt us and you've done all of these things and you stripped the veil, the facade, the mask I was wearing and showing to people. But you may have done it to a level of your own detriment for a little bit. You may have done it where you kind of put yourself on pause on like a spiritual growth level, on an emotional growth level, where you started to genuinely believe that maybe you were the problem. Or that maybe you weren't like the problem, I just got chills down my back. That maybe you weren't necessarily the problem, because again, you had a lot of love and forgiveness for yourself, so you didn't necessarily think that like you were a problem and that it wasn't going to be fixed or that it wasn't an issue, but that, help me with this, Spirit. Yeah, that you maybe just allowed, and I say this with so much love because I have done this too. Oh boy, have I done this too. You may have allowed these people or these narcissistic tendencies, even if it wasn't within the same person, but with multiple different people, different types of relationships. It could even be work relationships, maybe even with a boss. It doesn't have to be romantic or even really like a friendship. It can just be this stranger or platonic thing. But you may have allowed people to criticize what they were projecting as your character which they thought, again, you were weaponizing, like you speak too much truth and it wasn't truth. Like they were saying that you're the one who's lying, you're the one who's not being authentic, you're the one who's just trying to make everybody feel less than by saying these things. And you actually, there's a part of you that believed that. Yeah. Ooh, I got chills again. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that, guys. So this is not me just calling you guys out. And again, I'm not trying to call you out. I'm just speaking my truth. I'm sharing the channeled message, and I'm sharing what also resonates with me, okay? That's part of this whole channel. That's what I do. That's what this is. I speak my authenticity. I'm weird, I'm crazy, I'm quirky, and I share how it resonates with me, but I also share what's coming in. Even if it doesn't directly, specifically resonate with me, or I've never gone through that exact thing, I share with what comes through, the images that come through, the words that come through, the songs that come through. And I will be honest and share with you when those things, or if those things resonate with me as I feel to do so. So they made you believe that your truth was dangerous or that clarity was somehow wrong. And maybe you believed that for a little bit. But I'm also hearing that you guys have seen through even that lie and facade, and now you're like, okay, nope, I'm allowed to speak my truth. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and you've always, you know, subscribed to that understanding idea that everybody's entitled to their opinion, but you held yourself to this standard of other people's standards, of other people's projections, and now you're releasing yourself from that and saying, no longer will I do that. I will continue to speak in my truth and authenticity, and if I am wrong, or if I am doing something that I could have done with more grace, more kindness, more love, then I will self-reflect honestly with myself, and I will do that inner work and learn from it. I don't need other people to project their opinions about me, how I'm not enough, how I'm too weird, how I'm too crazy, how I'm weaponizing my truth and authenticity, because you know where you're coming from, you know your intent. And although yes, there's always times you can look back and be like, did I handle that the best? Could I have handled that with more love? Could I have handled that with more patience? You know, and that's again, such a beautiful thing about yourself. You see through the lies, the manipulation, the deceit. You try to look at it with love and different perspectives and different understanding and mindset. And then when you're able to pierce through that illusion, both of their own illusion and your own illusion of what they might be going through or experiencing or how they might be treating you, and you've pierced through that, then you come to this amazing, peaceful clarity of just knowing that we're all out here trying to do our best, right? But like, you know, you are genuinely, your intent is trying to just be your best and to just keep growing. You're not trying to hurt people. You're not trying to trigger people. You know that your words and authenticity will trigger people, but your goal isn't to do that. And intention is everything. But you can always look at your actions, look at your behaviors, look at the things you did and say, could I have improved in that area? And that is what makes you such a powerful force to be reckoned with, because of all of those three things that I've said, like looking through and being able to see through, intent, time to get moving. My watch just told me, like, move. Do you not see me moving? I've been moving. Confirmation, I've been moving, and I'm sweating and I'm getting hot, and that breeze needs to pick up, please. Whew. So anyways, you see through the lies, you see through the intent, or you see, well, yeah, you see other people's true intent. They might tell you, oh, I care about you. Oh, but I love you. Oh, but I'm here for you. But you see that's not their true intent. And you see that the words that you're using, you're calling them out and saying, well, I don't think you actually do care for me. And I would like for those things to change. I'd like for you to take some accountability, and I'm willing to be patient and work with you and be empathetic and understand where you're coming from your hurt, from your unhealed traumas. But I'm not willing to just stay here in the stagnancy and allow you to keep treating me this way, or it'll allow you to keep projecting your lies and your falsehood onto me and other people. And so you have this amazing ability, these amazing abilities, all packaged in one beautiful package that is you, where you deeply see people, you deeply see the intention of people, and you have the ability to see different perspectives, different lenses, share that with authenticity, without projection, without your ego taking over and projecting what you think is their right path or their, you know, whatever they're going through. You're able to step aside from that and say, let me try to show you or help you or demonstrate through me and my actions, or however ways and methods you go about it, like showing them authenticity and truth and light and love, and that everybody can grow in that, but not everybody chooses to do so. And you did choose to do so. You do choose to do so, and you're currently doing it. And yeah, and you're just being a beautiful you. I hope all that makes sense to you guys. You guys, that was only 2 pages. That was only 2 pages of notes. But I also was like, so give me a second. Let me read through some of this really quick. Confirmation verb. So here is the truth. You did not come here to be agreeable. You came here to illuminate. Yes, you did. You did not come here to be agreeable. You came here to illuminate. You see life through lenses that most haven't even dared to imagine exist. You hold the alchemical gift of perspective shifting. That's the truth. That is your truth. But that is the truth for you guys in this collective. You don't speak to hurt others. You speak because you see things others cannot. Whew. Yeah. And again, you just do it with love. You do it with love. You don't sit there and you know, just, you're not a doormat anymore and let people just do it just because, and then, you know, live in that lie, that facade, that, you know, illusion that they want to create for themselves. But you do allow people the ability to change, to work through those things, to take accountability, to, you know, go through those stuff. And if they choose not to, then again, with love, you separate and you move on, because that's not aligned with you. And that was hindering your growth. That was, you were, again, I say this with love, you were allowing them to hinder your growth by staying connected, by staying attached with those people. But you did stay long enough to see if they were willing to grow, to see if they were willing to take accountability, because that's what you did, right? I mean, we're all human. We all have our mistakes. We've all had our fair share of lying, deceit, probably even manipulation, you know, wearing a mask for other people of what we thought we had to be. And to the level that you did it and how that resonates with you, you know, to each their own, and how you view it. But you went through those changes. You looked inside yourself and went through the inner work, and you took accountability for your actions, your past actions and your present ones. And you have continued to start growing. You're to keep growing. So you know it's possible for others. So you stayed long enough to see if those people were willing to do those things. And then when you saw that they weren't willing to, and not only were they not willing to, that they wanted to project it back at you and then weaponize you and punish you and send you negative energy because of your authentic truth and because of your empathy and because of they saw that you were willing to be entangled in their energy and to stay in their little trap that they've created, their illusion. But now you've broken through, now broken out, broken free, broken through. Like, you no longer are in that place of feeling stuck, but you do offer people the time, the chance, the ability to grow, to take accountability, because you know you can, you have yourself, so you know others can, so you offer them that. And you just show them that, hey, it is possible. I'm here for you. I just need you to, like, stop doing the same horrible things you're doing, or stop lying, or stop manipulating. I just need that to change, you know? And it's up to them if they want to. And you know that. You feel what's underneath the surface, and it rises within you to be voiced, but not for destruction. For illumination and for evolution. Because you've done that for yourself. Again, it comes back to that, because spiritual growth, evolution, and just life in general is about your own growth. That's not selfish. People are like, oh, you're such an egotistic narcissist that you do things for yourself. What kind of backwards world are you living in? Obviously, it's planet Earth that we currently are in. It's very much backwards. But what kind of illusion are they trying to project on you that you need to be in when you're taking care of yourself and you're growing from your own things that you've done? You are evolving, and all you're doing is showing people that it's possible. That's all you're doing. You're just sharing your light, your love, your authenticity, and you're just showing people it's possible. And they can choose to join you. They can choose to go on their own journey. They can choose to stay stuck. You're just existing, you beautiful soul. You're just existing, sharing your light, sharing your truth. Your voice has always been a mirror, and for those unwilling to see themselves, that mirror feels like a weapon. They don't want to look at themselves that way. And for those ready to awaken, it's like, what was I saying? It's like a miracle. It's like a miracle. For those that are ready to awaken and are ready to grow, it's like a miracle. Yeah, you are a miracle to some people. I mean, you are a miracle in general, but like some people actually view you as a miracle. They're like grateful for your words, for your authenticity, for your truth. So let's go back into the crystals right here, because that was, I made it through some of the notes. Yes. Woo, we did it. So with malachite, let me get this correct. Malachite right here. And maybe either one of you guys resonate, or you guys resonate with one of these more. So I'll show you guys really quick, but I don't know which one resonates, but I feel like both of these specifically are great for this. And I'm going to tell you why, because I'm going to share with you what these stones with these crystals like can help you with, but then like how you can use them as tools for yourself to stay grounded, to protect yourself, like as energetic tools in a sense for this message. And if this resonates with you, these messages, these videos that I'm creating get longer and longer, and I'm loving it. I'm just loving it. Are you guys loving it? I love it. It's great. It just feels like it's flowing so fast. I just love it. So malachite. Malachite is a deep heart activator and a protector. Yes, it is. It's a transmuter of your pain into clarity. So as you go through things that have hurt you, that have caused you pain, after or as you're going through those things, because again, the emotional, beautiful, like Queen of Cups energy I'm feeling from you guys, you allow yourself to feel those emotions, to dive deep into them and to let them flow out. And you don't just try to suppress them, bottle them up, and then push them away. You actually feel them. So as you feel through these pains, as you feel through these things that have hurt you, these people that have hurt you, yourself that has hindered and hurt you, maybe even, it is transmuted into clarity for yourself. You have these like moments of, whoa, I've learned from that. And that's why it feels like you're on this like fast trajectory, like this growth pattern of just because you grow from your mistakes and your pain, and you very rarely repeat them. That's not saying you're perfect. That's not saying you don't have mistakes. We all have them. So as you close one door, you open a new one. So you might stop doing this one thing that you were like not super happy that you were doing, and you learn from it, but then you might start doing a different thing, and then you learn from that one. Then you might start doing a different thing and you learn from that one. But you know what's cool and beautiful about that is that you're not stuck in the same pattern, doing the same thing, of never evolving and just being the same thing, the same person. I find it so strange. It keeps like going in my head right now. It's like when so many people are like, oh, you've changed. And it's like, yeah, what? Why would I want to still be the same? Don't you want to change? Doesn't everybody want to change and experience change and growth and evolution? I guess the answer is not, but I feel like this collective is like shocked by that, because you're like, yeah, I have changed. And? Yeah? And like you just keep transmuting your pain into power, into clarity. And this can help you with that. If you're feeling like you're going into a place or maybe a space of people or things that you're like, you don't want to get your energy entangled, or you know these specific people and you know their behaviors, their tendencies, and you're like, you know what, I'm not trying to get entangled in that, but it's like something you have to be in, so you can't just step away or not be there. Like you got to be there. You have some sort of like reason to be around these people. You can carry this with you. You can use this as like a cleansing wand in a sense if you'd like to too, however it resonates with you. I like to just keep them in my pocket or in my wallet, and whatever crystal I feel called to that day. Sometimes I understand why, sometimes I don't, but I just grab it and I walk around with it. I'm not sitting here just, okay, protect me, you know. And again, there's nothing wrong with holding it and asking it for that too, but what resonates with me is it just to be near and around me, around my auric field, around my energy, and that's it. And I just have the very quick intent of, okay, cool, this is going to be here to help ground me. This is going to be here to help me feel more into love. This is going to help me feel more in, you know, my authenticity, my truth, my power, whatever crystal, whatever you feel. But with malachite here, this is going to help you with transmuting your pain into clarity. It's also going to help shield any of, like, you guys are empathetic visionaries is what I've been saying for you guys. You guys are very empathetic people, very capable of understanding and having different perspectives and looking at things in a well-rounded perspective, in a tetrahedral type way. Am I saying that right? Oh, it's gonna bother me. In a very much multi-dimensional way. And so it's gonna shield people like you that I'm speaking to in this collective from taking on the projections of others. So as you're walking into this place, let's say you're going to dinner with family members that you know are like, you're not trying to be around them, but you're going to dinner with them for whatever reason. You bring this with you, and it's like whatever projections that they're having, it's like it's not gonna pierce through yours, because you're not living in an illusion. You pierce through people's illusions, but you're not living in an illusion. You are divinely protected and living in light and living in love, and that is some of the strongest energy that exists, and they can't pierce through that. And then having this just helps ground that. It helps secure that for you. I'm also feeling called. I have this. Oh, I can't show it to you because I can't turn the camera and I can't take it off. Can I do it? Can I do it? I don't know if I can. Okay, I can't. I'll have to show you guys another time. I like crafting things, so I took clay and I like molded it into a very similar shape as this, and then I painted on. Have you guys ever seen like the evil eye symbol? It's blue with like yellow and white. Yeah, it's okay. Anyways, so I've painted that. I made it for myself, and then I have it hanging over my little my mirror, my rear view mirror, hanging here and dangling, and it's just awesome. Like, what it stands for is like it protects you from anybody projecting evil or negative energy or lower vibrational energy at you, towards you, whatever. And that could be simply them just like ruminating about you or like not liking you. They don't have to necessarily be like, I hate this person, but whatever negative energies that they have that they're sending out or they're thinking about can usually affect others. But like, as you protect yourself, you ground yourself, not just with truth, authenticity, light, and love within who you are, your nature, and how you're growing and evolving, but things like this and things like the evil eye over here can help further that, you know, so to help protect you from projections of other energies and people. Anyways, take that as you will. 4616. Again, lots of sixes here. That was just popping up here. Crazy. All right, so let's go into Mukite really quickly. Mukite grounds your perspective into embodied wisdom. So once again, you already have this natural gift and insight and intuition of seeing through things, of people, their genuine intention to hurt or harm, and the lies or deceit or whatever, you know, manipulation. You're able to see through that naturally, but this helps ground that and helps it be more sturdy in your perspective, and helps you embody that wisdom, that understanding. So instead of you being like, oh, I'm not sure, that doesn't feel right, I don't know what that there's something doesn't feel right, it's like this might help you get that like wisdom, that clarity of like, nope, I know that's what their intention's not good. There's no question about it. It's like, you know. And as you dive further into your intuition too, and you start to trust it more, you're not going to feel like you need to have these other things. These are like nice divination tools. These are great energetic practices. I've mentioned before, I have a lot of crystals. Well, I used to have a lot. I gave some away to friends. I like to make little gifts and crafts, and then I give them away as a crystal feels like it resonates with my friends and stuff. But I had a lot of them. It used to make me feel like it was part of my spiritual journey and growth. And as I got more in touch with my intuition and trusting myself, trusting signs and synchronicities, but just mainly myself, trusting my intuition, I started to stray a little bit away from these. And that's not good or bad. It's just what it was for me. So again, take that as you do. But today I felt very called to bring out the crystals. So, or rocks or stones, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, so Mukite helps ground your perspective into embodied wisdom. This stone also holds the ancestral codes of courage and helps you to trust your inner compass, especially when others resist your truth. So perfect for this message. Again, same example. Let's say you're going to dinner with a family member. It's like you can have this here with you, and you always should trust your intuition. But as you're still new into it, or if you're like still second guessing yourself or not quite sure, because these people that we've been talking about, like that have narcissistic tendencies, and I'm not saying they are narcissists, they could be, but that word gets tossed around a lot. So narcissistic tendencies, where they try to control the image of themselves or how you view them or how the world views them. It's like, they're tricky. They're good at what they do, dude. They're good at what they do. So like, even you, who's this strong, intuitive person, empathetic, understanding person, you might still get caught up in their lies and manipulation. So this could be a tool for you if you feel called to it. Mukite could be a tool for you to help just keep you grounded in that perspective, keep you holding on to that ancestral wisdom of knowing that what those people are, what their intention is. Yeah, we'll just stick with that one. So Mukite, and I was writing like this little thing that came through, this little like idea that came through. So Mukite, in a sense, it's like, it's basically telling you to stay rooted. You are not here to be palatable. You are here to be powerful in your clarity. I love that. I've used the word palatable a couple times, but it's not in my normal lingo when I'm like talking with people. But as channeling has become more fluid for me, that word has been popping up more for me. So yeah, you are not meant to be palatable. You're not meant to be liked by every person. You are meant to be powerful in your clarity, in your wisdom, in your intuition. Yeah. And didn't I write something else that like really stuck with me over here? Yeah, you didn't come here to be agreeable. You came here to illuminate. I'd love to know which one like resonates more with you. They both are like, whew, I love them. They're very powerful statements. But which one, you know, you feel? I'll read them again. You are not here to be palatable. You are here to be powerful in your clarity. You didn't come here to be agreeable. You came here to illuminate. Yeah, I love both of those. Those feel like tattoo vibes. Like, get that tattooed somewhere. Maybe on your ribs. I don't know. Maybe on your arm somewhere. I got another spot for words. Maybe. So feel deeply, but do not absorb their energy. These people that you might be around, people that either are new people that you're not sure of. So like you're going into like a new crowd or a party or a new place and you're not aware of it. Like, you know, don't get entangled. Don't get attached to those energies. You can feel into them because that's your gift. That's your power, but you don't have to get attached. Speak, but do not apologize for how your clarity stirs the pot, how it stirs others, how it triggers others. There's nothing wrong with apologizing when you need to, or taking accountability when it's necessary. But don't apologize just because you triggered somebody, just because you stirred the pot. That's what you do. I'm getting the witchy vibes. It's like you guys with your cauldron, like all the time you're like, I'm gonna stir the pot. Like you're happy to stir the pot. You're not doing it again. You're not doing it to hurt people, but like you know you're going to. You know you're gonna stir the pot. You know you're gonna trigger people. So you're like, I'm gonna add this spice. I'm gonna add this spice. I'm gonna dash of this. I'm gonna stir the pot. That's like the vibe I'm getting from you guys. It's so funny. Oh, it's so funny. So together, where'd the other stone go? Here we go. Together, these stones help you ground your perspective and protect your energy while stepping fully into your role as a seer, as a healer, and as a mirror of higher truth. There you go. Yeah. I'd love to know which one you guys like. Which one I really like. I was really called to the Mukite. I didn't even know what it was called when I saw it, or what it was for. I listened to my intuition and I was like, this one felt great. And then I went to the lady who owned the little shop and I asked her and she was like, oh, I'm so glad. I love when people ask me what they mean. You know, she's like, that's just like, I love it so much. I love getting to know people and sharing her understanding perspective, her intuition on that. So it was really cool. And so then it kind of opened up my whole mind to dive into it further. But honestly, I got Mukite, I want to say like 10 months ago, under a year ago, but a while back. And I've used it a couple times, feeling called to, like, especially when I'm diarying or journaling. Sometimes I felt called to. But it's really funny. This is the most I've ever, like, dove into using Mukite. My tummy's growling. Do you guys hear that? My tummy is growling. It's, like, ready for something. I need to feed it. All right, so if you felt silenced, gaslit, or punished for your truth, just know this. The resistance that you faced wasn't because you were wrong, but because you were ahead. And now the energy is shifting. The world is catching up. Burp confirmation. The world is catching up. New earth is happening. Changes and shifts are happening. People are finally ready for the vision that you've always carried. So keep speaking. Keep doing. Keep seeing, keep choosing the higher lens. You were never too much. Babe, you were never too much, okay? Be that crazy, quirky, awesome, authentic, beautiful self you are. You were never too much. You were exactly right and just right on time. You might have been ahead of others in what they could understand and perceive for themselves and what was possible, but you were never wrong in your beliefs, your truth. When you stand in your truth and your authenticity, you're not wrong. Okay? I love you guys. Wow. I actually don't feel called to do tarot at all. I brought it here, but that was it. What are we ending on? 5404? Yeah, how beautiful. That's so awesome, you guys. I love you. I'd love to know how this resonates with you guys. And I'm just sending you so much love because Sometimes dealing with people like that, it's like, especially with you guys who are very empathetic souls, like, it's draining. Because, like, yes, it's your gift, it's your ability to be able to see through these things and to work through them and to be able to shield yourself from them and speak your truth and distance yourself, set boundaries when you need to. But, like, oh my gosh, is it draining? It's like, you don't want to live that every day. It's like, you might be my family, you might be my family, you might be my friend, but like, I know I'm going big places and I'd love to take everybody with me that I can, but I know not everybody wants to come along, or not everybody can do that, or can fathom or understand that they're capable of it either. And it's just draining, you guys. It's draining. And so I send you so much love, and take the time to recharge, recenter, reground yourself, because I know I needed to do that yesterday for sure. There was nothing necessarily going wrong. It was just like I was feeling some energies. I was feeling things being entangled. I was feeling myself getting too attached to those energies. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to take some time outside. I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to take some time on the things that I feel aligned with right now, that feel good for me to do and work on. And the energy that I do want to put out, I'm going to put it towards the things that I want to put out towards in energy. And that's what I did. So you guys should do that too. You should always do that. You should always do that whenever you feel called to. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!